Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. Now, before we get started, I just want to make sure that everything is working okay. So if you can see me on YouTube and Facebook, please let me know in the comments box. Right. So I just want to make sure everything is working okay here before we get started. You know, today we have a very exciting update. So I just want to make sure you can all hear me before we get started. So this is live streaming both on Facebook and YouTube. Okay, so I can see here that everything is working okay on Facebook. So I just need to confirm that things are working okay as well on YouTube. Right, please leave me a comment if you can see me or hear me. Excellent. All right. So it looks like everything is working okay. I'm super excited now. So let me give some shouts outs here. So we have Zim Trends. Good to see you. We have Andrew Cross. How you doing? We have Jose, Rosa, Mohammed from Telarus. Excellent. We also have, let me see here. I can't pronounce some of these names, but right. It's very exciting to see you all. Okay, so it looks like everything is working okay on Facebook and YouTube. All right, so this is the time. We have a Divi feature, and this feature here is it's gonna blow your mind. I've been playing around with this over the weekend, and it has been super exciting. So I can't wait to show you what I have planned here for you. But what we're gonna do, because I really need some concentration on this one, I will go through the examples that I've set up for you, and then we can do a Q&A at the end of this live stream. So what we're going to be talking about today is the new Divi condition options. We're going to be able to create visibility options based on this feature. So let's say you want to show a message for logged in users, but when they're logged out, they see a different message. We're going to be able to do that with this feature. But you know what? I can't really explain the power of this feature unless I show you how it works. So this also works with WooCommerce. So for those of you that sell products online, this is going to be amazing. I've also tried this with LearnDash. So if you sell courses and you'd like to present or show messages based on what course your students are signed up to, you're going to be able to do that as well. But like I said, this feature is so powerful. It works on sections, it works on rows, it also works on modules. So you can set all your conditions that way. So before we get started, I'd also like to remind you that you need to be running the latest Divi version. So make sure you're running the latest version. I'll show you in a moment how you can set that up. All right, so let's get started. Pretty much everything is, it's just plain, nothing is showing. But in fact, you know what? I've the blog post. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose post 3. So let's see what happens. There's a video here. I'm not sure where this source is. So let me just get rid of this first. And so we can get started. Okay. I haven't been using this OBS in a long time. So I'm just trying to get this sorted out as soon as possible. So just give me a few seconds while I set this up. All right, so I think we are good to go now. All right, so let's start. All right, so first things first, you need to make sure you're running the latest version of Divi. So I'm just going to do a quick check here. So you click here where it says updates, and if you don't see the latest update, this will refresh and show you the latest Divi theme. So if you want to check the version, just come over here to appearance, click on themes, and we are running version 4.11.1. So that's the version we're running. Make sure you're running that in order for you to use the latest condition feature. All right, so now that we have this out of the way, our first example is an example whereby, let's say you have a blog, and on your blog, you want to show messages on specific categories. So this could be for the purpose of maybe promoting another product, or it could be to allow them to sign up for maybe something else on your website because they've visited the marketing category. So you can show different messages. If you're an affiliate marketer, you can even put your product there for that category. So for example, if you have Divi tutorials, you can add a message on the Divi category of your posts to say, hey, there's a discount or whatever it is for Divi. All right, so let's take a quick look here and see what we have here on the categories. So here I've gone ahead and created two categories. We have Divi and marketing. So these are the two categories that I have. And I've also assigned some posts to that. So you can see here, post 3 and 2 are assigned to category marketing, and post 1 is category Divi. Okay, so we want to use our conditions feature to show a message for all the posts that go under Divi category and all the posts that go under marketing category. So in this example, I'm going to use the theme builder. So I'm going to come over here, click on theme builder. Next, we're going to go to all posts. So this is where we need to add. So I'm going to click here on edit. All right. So this is our template. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a new section. So I'm going to click here on this plus button. I'm going to select regular and single column. And in this single column, we're going to add a text module. All right. So I'm going to add my dummy text in here. So this is my message. I'm going to copy that and paste it in here. Okay, great. The next step now, I want this to be for for anyone who visits the marketing stuff of my website. So I'm going to say marketing message. Okay. Of course, I could be creative, a bit more creative with this. So I could say buy my marketing book or download my marketing PDF, 10 tips or whatever it is. But for the purpose of this, I'm just going to keep things simple. And I also need to stylize this. I'm going to go with that. Okay, so that's for the marketing. Now, how do we use our conditions to show this only for people that visit the marketing stuff? So you come over here to conditions, click on this plus button here, and then we're going to say post category. Okay, so now we're going to scroll down here, and we can see here we have Divi. So I'm going to select Divi. No, we need to select marketing, sorry. So I'm going to choose marketing. Let me just uncheck that because I clicked that by a mistake. So this is only going to display if the post category is marketing. All right, let's save that. And let's do the Divi one. So I'm going to save this again and create another one. I'm just going to duplicate this and then go in here. And then I'm going to say Divi message. And let's change the style of this to something different. And by the way, if you're not sure why, if you're not sure how I'm adding these quick designs, I am using presets. Okay. So now for this Divi one, I need to come over here to advanced conditions. And then I just need to amend this from marketing to Divi. Okay. So here's our categories. I'm going to select Divi. And here it is. So this is only going to display when someone visits Divi, okay, the Divi category. There we go. So I'm going to save that, save one more time, and then save everything. All right, so let's close out of here. So this is now done. It's going to be automated and it's going to be fun. So what we're going to do here is I'm also going to add a post which is not in either of these categories, so you can see the power of this tool. Okay, so I'm going to add a new post. Let me just grab some dummy text from here. All right, so I'm going to go in and say post 4. And I'm just going to use my default editor here because I have a template. And then over here now, I just need to add my category. So I'm going to choose uncategorized. Okay. And then I'm going to my featured image here and add a featured image. And let's say this is an image of this drone. Okay. Running out of ideas now. Right. Let's publish this. Publish one more time. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do now is view this post. So I'm going to view this in a new tab. So I want you to notice what happens. When I view this this post here, you can see there's no message. You know, pretty much everything is, you know, it's just plain. Nothing is showing. But if I go to my blog here and choose another blog post, so I'm going to come over here and I'm going to choose post 3. So let's see what happens here. So I just need to clear my cache. I don't know why it's showing this way, but anyway, this is our marketing message over here on the top. And if I go back, let's go to our blog. And this time I'm going to choose post 1 because this is the Divi one. We should have that bright message. Let's see if that works. There we go. We have the bright message, and that is because this is the Divi category. So you can see here things have fixed itself. I don't know, sometimes it's the caching that causes this. This is a live website. It's called webdesignwithmac.com, and it's hosted under SiteGround. So sometimes if you don't clear the cache, things may appear jumbled. But as you can see here, it's working because this is the Divi category, and this is showing our post 1 message. Okay. All right. Let's do our next example. So in our next example, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a page. And in that page, I want to show messages based on whether the user is logged in or logged out. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to come over here and create a new page. So I'm going to say page. And I'm just going to say members, members only. How about that? Okay, so I'm going to say use Divi Builder. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create 2 sections, one for logged in users and one for users that are not logged in. So let's come over here. So I'm going to have a single column here, and I'm going to add a text module. Okay, so in this module here, I could just say you need to be logged in to view the content. Okay, so that's going to be my message. I'm just going to make it slightly bolder. So I'm going to come over here and let's set this to heading 2. Okay, and also make sure this is set to heading 2. Okay, great. So I have that main message there. And what I'm going to do next is to add my login form. So I'm just going to search for login, and here it is. Okay, so we have our login form here. In fact, you know what? We could actually have this message in here. So let's just add that in here like that. And this doesn't need to be heading 2. Let's just set this to our normal paragraph. Okay, so here we are going to now say sorry. Okay, like that. And then let's just stylize this a little bit. So I'm going to give this a background color. And then, excuse me. And then we are going to go in here and just make sure that our font here is right. So let's add pop-ins in here. like that. And let's make this bold. Okay, great. Now let's work on this message. And again, we're going to set this to pop-ins. Now, I'm not going to go in and set everything all up here. Otherwise, it's going to take us a very long time for demonstrating this new feature. Okay, so let's set this to do 20. All right, so this is our login form. So let us, okay, one more thing. I'm just going to come over here to border and set this to 5. All right, so I'm going to save that. And then we just need to delete this top one here. In fact, this is a bit too long. You know what? Let's adjust the width, sizing, and just going to bring this down to about 70% and save. Oops, I need to center it. Okay, let's go back to sizing and center it. Okay, great. So now that this is done, this is going to be a message for anyone who goes in without is this correct? Okay, yeah, so this is the message that's going to show when someone tries to view the video without being logged in. Okay, now let's add our next section. So let me sort out the padding here first. I think we're going to go with let's go with 5. Okay, great. So we have our first section here. Now let's add another section. So I'm going to click on this plus button. It's going to be regular. And this section now is going to be 2 columns. On the left, I'm just going to add a text module just to have a title. So the title here is just going to be Lorem Ipsum. Okay. I'm going to set this to heading 3. And let's go to our text defaults here. Heading 3. Okay, great. Next, we're going to add a video. Here we go. Right, so that's our video. And yeah, it's got the default. And if you want to link this, you can just click here on add video and then click on URL. And this is where you paste your your YouTube video. Okay. So I'm just going to add an overlay image here so that this looks much nicer. So I'm going to go with, let's go with this one here. So that's the video that people should watch when they are logged in. Okay, so over here, I'm just going to add a bunch of text that goes with the video and perhaps maybe even a call to action. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. And let's give this a background color so you can actually see what is happening when they're logged in or they're not logged in. Okay, fantastic. So let's bring this down to about 5 as well. Okay, great. So we need to go in and add our conditions. And you know what? This text here, I don't really need that. So let me locate it by going into my first section here. Oops. I need to go into the row, column, and this is what I need to get rid of. All right. So what we need to do now is to go into the section settings and apply our conditions. So I'm going to go in here, go to advanced, and then go to conditions, click on the plus button. And this one here is going to be for logged out users. Okay, so let me look for that now. So I'm going to go through here. Okay, logged in status. Boom. Okay, so user is logged in. No, we want user logged out. Okay, so this will display if user is logged out. So that's what we need for this one. And here it says if you're using a caching plugin, this page should be excluded from the caching. Okay, otherwise it won't work properly. Next, let's come over here to this one here. And for this, come over here to advanced conditions. And we're going to add our condition. And this time, this one here is for user is logged in. I'm going to save that one more time, and we're going to save our page. All right, so now the moment of truth. Let's exit the Visual Builder and see what happens. So right now I'm logged in. So this is what I see, right? So you can play the video. If there's any call to actions, you'd come over here, go to your call to actions. But if I'm logged out, and for this, we need to open a new incognito window. I'm going to paste my same page in here. And notice what happens. Now it's asking us to log in. So as soon as you enter your username, password, you'll be able to see the content. Excellent. So this is working really well so far. So you could actually try this on your own website. Okay, so let's do the last one here, the last example. So in our last example, what I'm going to do is to display a message, but this message is going to be shown if the visitor visits that page for, 3 times, but after 3 times, it's going to go away, and then I can set a certain time to show again after, say, maybe 2 weeks or so. Now, to achieve that, I'm also going to use the theme builder here. So I'm going to create a brand new template. So I'm going to come over here. In fact, you know what? Let me just show you quickly what my homepage looks like before I can go in and fix and start designing this. So my homepage here looks like this. I'm going to scroll all the way down here. As you can see, I don't have any messages. That's great. So we want the message to show on the homepage. So I want to come over here and click on this plus button. And this template here is only going to be for the homepage. Okay, so let's select homepage, create template. And I need to come over here into the body and then build custom body. So I'm going to build this from scratch, and I'm going to start with a single column, and we're going to add our post content so that all our information on our page is going to show. So what I'm going to do first is just to make sure that my sizing here is correct. So we want this width to go to 100% and this 100% as well. Okay, so that's just so that all our content here shows. And then I'm going to go into my section settings here and just go to design and just make sure I have no spacing between the top and the bottom. Great. Okay, so I'm going to save that. So now I'm going to add my message by clicking on this plus button. I'm going to go for regular, single column, and I'm going to add a text module. And this is where my message is going to go. So I'm going to say, get the free course today. Okay. In fact, let me just make it click here. Maybe that's better. So click here to get the free course today. Okay, fantastic. So I have this. I'm going to center it. Okay, so that's my text settings. I'm going to make this light. So let's come over here to our text and make it white because I need to add a background color to the section. All right, so over here now on the section, I'm going to start by going to background. Let's add our color so our text can stand out. Next, I'm going to just make sure that my padding here is sorted because my padding is a bit too much there. Okay, let's go with 0. All right, so that's our message. Nice and simple. Back over here now is where you want to add your link to where that free course is. So for now, I'm just going to add a blank link, but in your case, you need to add the link that takes you to the actual page. All right, so check this out. What we're going to do now is to come over here to advanced, and notice I'm in my section settings. I'm going to go to conditions and display conditions. Click here on this plus button. So this is going to be displayed based on number of views. So if someone views this for 3 times, we want the message to disappear. So I'm going to click here on number of views, and I'm going to say number of views 3, and then reset after duration. So I'm going to go in and display again after. So I'm going to say maybe 10 days. Okay. And here we have hours and minutes. So I'm going to leave it at days. and I'm pretty much happy with that. So I am going to go in and save changes. Now there's also something I need to do, and that is our position. So I'm going to come over here and make sure that this is fixed and fixed to the bottom. And for our Z index, I want this to be above everything. So I'm just going to add a very high number there. Save. And there it is there at the bottom. Brilliant. Now I can save my template. So what I'm going to do now is to save. And we are now going to go to our page and view this. Okay, great. So now when I refresh this, there we go. So click here too, and you can see there's a link there to go to whatever URL it is. So I can scroll here like that. That's going to be stuck at the bottom like that. So let me refresh this page 3 times and you're going to see this disappear if this works well. So I'm going to do it first time. Okay, so this is just showing that the page has been viewed X amount of times. So we've done it once. Let's do one more time. Okay, now this is the last time. And the message has disappeared. So the message is going to reappear after 10 days. So that is how we can set this up with that condition. All right, so these are the few examples that I thought I would show you. Okay, so let's go into our next segment, which is the Q&A. Right, so I'm sure you can see there's a lot that I covered in there, and I'm pretty sure you have quite a lot of questions. So do post your questions in the comments box so I can go through them. I know there's a few things I need to show you as well in terms of how this is going to work. Where do you find these settings on the sections? So what I'm going to do now is to just switch over here to my computer here. So if I were to add, let's say, a single column, and let's add some text in this column here. So this feature works on all the levels. So for example, I can come over here to section settings, advanced, and then go on conditions, and I can add my conditions this way. I can also do the same with my rows. So if I come over here to my row settings, I can go to advanced and then conditions and still add my conditions here. Or I can go into the actual module. So if I come over here, advanced, conditions, and then I can add my conditions that way. So as you can see, they are all on all levels. And also this works with custom post types. So if you use advanced custom fields, this will work as well. So you can display your content that way. Okay, so I'm going to start taking a look now at our questions, and let's start with Facebook. Darren says, are there any conditions available for email opt-ins? No. For this particular question, I don't think this works. You'll be able to show the actual module itself, but whether someone is logged in, whether someone is subscribed to a mailing list or not, I think that needs to be connected with your email service provider like Fluent CRM or MailChimp and so on. So that needs to be a deeper integration. So for that option is not there. Okay. Dib, I haven't checked if this is available on Extra, but I would assume this is also available on the Extra theme. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, Nick says it. Okay, yeah, this was just a response to custom fields. Okay, right. Please post your questions in here. Right, let me check if there's any questions here on Facebook. Okay, so no. No questions so far. So does that mean that this demonstration was, or this feature is great and there's nothing to ask? Or maybe this is not working. The live stream is not working. I don't see any questions here. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm not sure if I can pronounce the name here. Okay, I'm just going to say Sabir. Okay, so Sabir says, I've added it. It's working for only admin. If I need for any other user, can I do this? And the answer to that is yes. We also have user roles. So let me switch over here and show you. So let's say we have this piece of content here, right? We could say, okay, for this, we want that when the user is, and let's come over here to conditions, click on this plus button. So we want that when, first of all, let's find the condition, user role. Where is it? Okay, where is the user role? Oh, there we go, user role. This is what you need to do, Sabir. So you need to select user role. And this will only display if the user role is, and we can choose here either editor, author, contributor, subscriber, customer, shop manager. Now I have Tutor LMS installed, so this could be a tutor instructor. So you see, we have many options here. So if you have someone that's writing your blog posts for you, or you have subscribers or customers, you can actually show this to only customers, just like that. And if you save that, this will only show up, this particular content here will only show up if that user is a customer. So that's how this works, okay? Now the option for customer came up because I installed WooCommerce onto my website. So that's why that is showing, but that's how you would do it. Okay, any more questions? Okay, we have a question here. Social media video says, can you set it to a certain point on a video? Right. The answer to that is no. This, remember, is displaying content. So it's not really going into the actual application. So let's say, for example, a YouTube video, there has to be an integration with YouTube and Divi for that to work. Because if you say, let's say someone reaches 25 minutes of a video, then do this, or then show if someone has watched X amount of minutes, that couldn't work. You can only show that video as a module based on the conditions. Okay, so that is similar to the question about someone signing up for a specific email list. Okay, so that would be a deeper integration. All right. If a viewer watches a certain point of the video, can an opt-in box appear? Again, that there's no trigger for that. This is only for showing content. Okay, great. Let's see. Do we have any more questions here? Okay, I see. Simone says, what if there isn't a condition we are after? I'm not sure. I mean, what condition are you looking for? Perhaps it could be on this list, because when I was playing around with this, it needs a bit of practice, because sometimes if you're not following the rules correctly, the information would not show correctly. So you'd need to really play around with it in order for you to understand how these rules work. So it could be that that condition you're after is there, but please let me know in the comments if there's something specific you need to do. Okay, let's have a look here. So I'd like to add to this and say, as we're designing our websites, if we're freelancers or agencies and we're designing websites with Divi, this update gives us so many options to design websites which are dynamic and websites which are truly functional, because with these conditions, it is amazing what we can do. Now, imagine this. Let's say you're running a website and you'd like to show information based on if users are logged in or logged out. You can even have menus. You can actually go to the Divi header area and show a menu which has specific links for logged out users and have a menu which has specific links for logged in users. So you can see there's a lot of creativity that you can work with here to design amazing websites. Plus, I'm going to show you something very quickly here because I can see quite a lot of questions have come in. So let me take a look here. Prim Media, well, is it? Yeah, Prim Media says, I'm new to Divi and I need a tutorial about post-page design. Can you? Yes, we have tutorials on the post-page design. I'll add it in the video description in a moment. Okay, let's have a look here. Winston Powell says, how does a cookie work for tracking if a user has viewed a page before? Now, the explanation I'll give to this is a bit more, I mean, how the cookie works is a bit more technical, but when someone visits a website, they are sort of like tagged, right? That they visited that website. So if they do come back, your website will know that that person has visited that page, and that's what triggers the cookie to show whatever it is that you've set up using the conditions. So that's how that would work. Okay. Let's take a look here on Facebook if there's any more questions. Right. Tate says, is there a user guide for this new feature? The answer to that is we have a detailed tutorial. In fact, let me show you where that is. So we have a detailed tutorial here, which you can go to. I'll leave a link to that in the video description below. So this gives you an overview of how this works and also gives examples. So this is a step-by-step walkthrough as to how this works. And in fact, Nick made some amazing examples here, and that is to show something based on time and time of, I mean, like the days, and if it recurs and stuff like that. So you may need to watch this video here to see that feature. So this is actually very, very exciting. If you have a product that you're selling or a service that operates on specific days, this is a good example of how you can implement that. So as you can see here, there's quite a few examples. This one here only shows part of a blog post. So if you are logged in, then you would see the premium content. So it is another way of encouraging people to sign up for your whatever it is that you're selling on your website. And there's also another one here where if someone, it's a cut and abandonment. So if someone leaves your checkout page without buying, next time they come to that page, they will see this pop-up, which gives them a 20% discount. So you can see this can be applied with so many examples. And it also goes through here, date and time, post view, product purchase, cut contents, number of views. So there's a lot we can do with this. What I've done today is just scrape the surface. You know, this is not pretty much all that you can do with this. You can do way more with this feature. Okay, so let's have a look here. Right, any more questions? You can add your questions here in the video description. Okay, so let me see if I can show you other examples. Okay, yeah, there is something that I wanted to mention, and that is we can stack our conditions as well. So let's say I come over here to advanced conditions. So this is our first condition. So we are saying the customer can view this, all right? Now we can also add another one, and we can say, let's head over here and say products. So display if, in fact, this is not a good example. So let's see here. We can also say display if, and let's add the login status. And this time when the user is logged in, okay? So we can also add another role here. Now this is very important because when I saw this message here, I ignored it. And I was really scratching my head why things were not working. So if you have a caching plugin, this page should be excluded from the cache to allow the conditions that you've selected to function properly. It's very, very important. Now I use SiteGround, so let me show you how you would exclude your page from that. So let me save here and exit the Visual Builder. Okay. So this page is called testing. In fact, let me just copy the URL here. I'll need to clear my cache as well for this page to show correctly here on the top. But anyways, I'll just show you quickly how we can do this. So I would need to come over here to SG Optimizer. And then I need to go to my dynamic caching. You can see here I've switched it off. But in your case, you need caching because this is what makes your website faster. So I will add my page here like that. In fact, it's saying nothing found. But anyway, this is where you would add your page. So for example, if this was the page I wanted to add, I can just add this page here. In fact, I'm pressing the wrong thing. Then wonder why it's not working. It's supposed to be here. Okay, so this is where you would exclude all your pages. So if you come over here, paste the URL, and now that's going to be excluded. So when the website is running, this page here is going to work properly with our conditions. And at any point, if you want to get rid of this page from here, you can just delete it like that. And now it's gone. Okay, so that is how you exclude it. Now, there are other plugins that you can use, but they all have different ways of excluding it from the caching. Okay. Right, let's check here. Right, so it looks like there's no more questions here. Okay. All right, guys, so thank you very much for tuning in. I really appreciate your time. I know it can be quite challenging, to try and get everyone to watch this live stream, but I really appreciate this. This is going to be on our Facebook page and also our YouTube channel. So if at any point you want to watch this, or you've started watching this in the middle, you can always go back and watch this live stream. So if you still have any more questions, just add them in here. We are creating more tutorials on how to use this feature, giving you real life examples. So there are quite a lot of tutorials coming up. The team is working on quite a lot of tutorials, so please be patient. We are going to be posting them here on our Facebook page and our YouTube page. So make sure you're subscribed, and on YouTube also. And please like this video as well if you like this feature. Until next time, thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.